Hello ladies and gentlemen, as always, I'm your host, AirsoftAL, the common man's airsofter who wears a beret and talks about, well, his side pew, because really I need to make content before July comes around for America Month, where I review nothing but America and the world, to kind of catch up to it. Ladies and gentlemen, today we're here to talk about my side pews because, well, I've got some projects and ideas for them that I want to share with you guys, so maybe you guys can give some insight into them. To begin with, let's go ahead and start with the main one, which I am going to be getting some replacements for certain magazines. Ladies and gentlemen, let me go ahead and introduce you to the Black Ops TACmaster KJW amalgamation mid to late 80s, early 90s, early 2000s two-tone handgun. And yes, that's an amalgamation in itself, but I just wanted to kind of share this with you because, well, this is now my baby. This is now my project gun. This is something I want to build up on because it is honestly really good. And it does still surprise me that the TACmaster upper, which is meant for a single stack style lower, mind you, can work on a high kappa lower. I do love that, and I do recommend you guys give that a try as well. Now, things I have already done to it, I actually have done to it already, is more or less, I have double springed, or at least not really double, well, yeah, no, I've put a recoil spring on this, a barrel spring on this, because the stock TACmaster does not come with a barrel spring. I put a barrel spring on here to more or less add to that realistic kick that you will feel, and of course that nice, snappy, quick return. Things I'm going to be doing for it, though, is I'm going to try and add a new barrel lug to the front of this because, well, there's a barrel extension I do like, one that just gives it that nice aggressive look. It is, of course, the Mad Bull Punisher compensator that you see in the movies, and honestly, I want to get that because I just want to make this look a little bit more mean than it already is, and it does already combine the classic with the modern, and I do like that. Another thing is, of course, I'm going to be putting in a better... Well, I've already put in the KJW barrel that's already in here, as well as the hop unit, and that is already done good for me so far, and I ain't really going to do much to it. If I can't have the Mad Bull compensator, which you're probably seeing on screen right now, I am going to put a thread adapter on here so I can run tracer units whenever I do, snowball chance in hell, ever do actually get to play in an indoor field. I'll be able to put that on there because it does have the threading to accept this. This is a blank barrel, which actually did come with the Black Ops upper, which is currently going to be used for a another project gun I'm actually doing, but that is, of course, going to be talked about in a second because I need to talk about the magazines and what I'm going to be doing with them. These are one of 3 CO2 magazines. This is the original Black Ops KJW magazine that actually came with the Black Ops pistol, and it is CO2, and you can see it's missing the base because the base broke in half when I was playing out in the woods, and it just so happened to land on a very hard tree that came down, so that broke. This is, of course, the WeTech, what have you, basically a WeTech high cap, because you can see the We logo right there. And the lower is polymer, and I'm just going to put a little pressure on this. That was a little pressure. Came off like no tomorrow. One of these I've already broken in half, so what I'm doing, essentially, and this is what I'm doing, ladies and gentlemen, is I'm going ahead... What I'm doing, ladies and gentlemen, is I'm going to be getting the SOCOM, the EMG, basically the Evite brand metal base plate for CO2 high cap magazines. The reason I'm doing that is because I play out in the woods, ladies and gentlemen, and let me just go ahead and tell you now, the woods don't play fair with magazines. Magazines like to break in the woods, especially the base plates. I'm getting the metal for insurance policies and more or less extending the life on my magazines. Primarily the base plates. That's my current sidearm, more or less. What's the other one where the actual Black Ops upper is? This is it. This is the project I actually want to do. This is something from my buddy Tony, aka Apex. This is all just amalgamated together, something I just kind of threw together as a sort of a showpiece type deal. More or less, this is the Black Ops upper, which kind of gives it that classic look to it. And I really need to fix this, because the only thing that's missing from this, besides, of course, a little locking lug to actually keep the barrel in place, the inner barrel in place of the actual barrel here, Oh, and a new barrel, because I'm not going to use the straight black barrel that came with the KJW. I want to get an actual silver barrel because I do love the silver. Silver is just a lovely, lovely barrel. Lovely color for anything. It really is. I'm a silver kind of guy. I'm a chrome kind of guy. Love silver, love chrome. Don't get me wrong, matte black or just jet black does have a place in the metal world. Just not with pistols, in my opinion. So, what is this more or less? It has a WeTech smaller grip. I believe this is a 1.5 or some nonsense like that. But it is small enough it fits my hand. I have a very small hand, and when compared to my current sidearm, my hand fits the smaller one better. So the smaller one is more or less for a more compact feel than this, but besides being able to use smaller magazines, which I don't know if they make smaller CO2 magazines, I wish I knew. Besides that, of course, I can also, more or less, use full-size, high-kappa CO2 mags in this. I do understand now I'm wanting to do this pretty good. Again, the only thing that this is missing on this upper is more or less a locking lug for the actual inner barrel to lock it into the outer barrel, or at least that little screw piece, that little base plate, more or less. The other thing that's missing is a new nozzle, because the housing in this... Let me just go ahead and show you the housing for the Black Ops Scorpion High Kappa KJW 2011 Double Stack 1911. This is the housing unit for this thing. If you guys can identify it in the comments section, so I can just buy a new housing unit altogether and I can just build a new one, you're welcome to. But I tried putting on a red nozzle I did have, and as you can see, it kind of doesn't want to fit. Yeah, that is not... It's going to take me a while to get it out of there, but yeah, no, it just does not want to fit in this housing unit. So, is there anyone who can identify this housing unit, or even my buddy Tony, who can probably build this thing for me and send it and ship it out to me? Tony, fucking identify what the hell this housing unit is. Tell me, or fucking build this thing, or something at least. I need help to build this fucker. Another more modern gun, at least, or correction, quote-unquote, modern in terms of video games, is, of course, a Resident Evil pistol that I'm wanting to help a Navy veteran of mine, my brother Rob, who you may remember from the channel. Rob is a Navy veteran, also a big Resident Evil fan as much as I am. He's actually saving up and working to actually get a real steel Samurai Edge pistol that is actually on the market. You can buy these things custom made, and hopefully he'll get a real steel to go along with a lot of his collection that he has. But this was his first airsoft gun that he got when he was in the Navy, and he gave it, and he let me have it to work on it to fix it up, and this is what I'm going to do for him. Do know this is not the Tokyo Marui Samurai Edge. This is the Select Fire WeTech version. Already, there should be some red flags going off for you. So, what am I going to do for this thing? Well, first off, leaky magazine that needs to be fixed. So that's just a whole lot of need to fix that with sealing and all that good jazz. Need to get a propane adapter, of course, which is with a friend of mine. The other thing is I'm wanting to switch it over to CO2. There are M9 parts out there that can be swapped internally, from what I've read, internally in the WeTech M9, so they can actually be used, more or less, with the CO2 magazines that are on the market, or at least from what I've read. I don't know if it's 100% true or not, but again, I want to try and swap this over to CO2. If I can't swap it over to CO2, that's perfectly fine. I'm just going to probably get him some more magazines that won't leak, magazines that will work with this thing, and we'll go from there. Another thing is I want to get him some better fucking grips. Actual real wood grips that do have the actual Star logo on there. Another thing, of course, is a better inner barrel, better hop-up unit, and, of course, a better nozzle. Like, legit, I want to basically get him better everything. I want to build him a lovely, beautiful Samurai Edge pistol that he can be proud to use. Again, just one of those things of, I really want to build him this pistol to be really good so he can use it on the field, either in CO2 or green gas, slash propane, of course. Another thing, of course, is the thread adapter. I may get him a thread adapter, I may not. Again, he may want to leave this thing naked on the end of the barrel here, but I am wanting to get this thing nice and cleaned up a bit, make it really look nice for him as a fellow Resident Evil fan, and just make it look really nice. That's really what I want to do for him, so it looks nice to him to use, and it just, again, just one of those things. Good, the safety still works, because that's another thing I got to work on is the safety, because for some reason this thing will have out of battery, or at least it will have safety fire for some reason, where even if the safety is down, it will still fire. So that's another thing I got to open up whenever I get the parts in to actually really fucking look into this damn thing. So another bit of guns I actually do have, once again, CO2, both CO2. One I am wanting to get the stock for, but ever since SRU released a kit for it, kind of want to get both kits for both these guns just to kind of put onto them and see if they work for the CO2 models. First off is my German Luger. My German Luger it's a KWC P08. Love this thing to death. Absolutely great. Just beautiful trigger pull. Great trigger reset. It is just... just love that thing. Really do. Anyway, so what do I want to do with this? Well, first off, I want to get the KWC, well, not the KWC, the SRU kit and actually put on here to see if it works with the gas blowback version of this thing. Or I might be thinking of the M712 that has the kit for it, because I think SRU was saying they were going to do something with that, but either way, though. Moving on, though. The other thing is real wood grips. I want to get some real wood grips for this thing so I don't have to use the painted grips I have here that I did myself, and really, the paint's starting to come off. So, yeah, I really want to get some real wood grips for this Luger. The other thing is a stock, because it does have the stock lug on here, and I really do want to get the Luger stock for it so I can actually have it on there and use it as a pistol caliber carbine, or at least as a Luger carbine. Another thing, of course, that nice little lanyard loop. I do honestly want to get a lanyard loop so I can actually use it one-handed and have that. But again, just one of those things of, I'm a history buff, I love old guns, and the Luger is just one of those elegant firearms that just is good. I've done enough videos on the Luger itself. There's no need to do any more on it, so, or need to talk any more in depth on it, because if you know the Luger, you know how it is. Anyway, moving on. The other old gun of mine, or at least the old gun model, is the KWC M712. I have played with this thing in game. I even have a nice little bit of a hop-up screw on here because I found the right screw for it to use it, because this is the hop-up area. If you have the right screw, this thing does have hop-up, and you can use the hop-up. I have double spring mod this son of a bitch, so it shoots faster, and actually does match up almost to the real steel, which has that burp. It is CO2 powered, and this one definitely does have an SRU kit for it. I am wanting to get the SRU kit for it so I can put it on here, and if possible, I actually want to talk to the 3D printing community and maybe try and get a 3D printed stock for this thing. Maybe have something that will go into the stock channel here. Another thing, if I don't get the SRU kit, that's fine. I do want to get actual Red 9 grips on this thing, actual real Mauser M712, or at least Mauser C96 grips that will go on here, the Red 9 grips, and then have the stock that will go on here, so I can have that Resident Evil gun. The actual Resident Evil 4, yes, the Resident Evil 4 C96 that is in the game, actually have that, because that C96, I believe, had the Red 9s on the grip. Again, just one of those things of, I love the Mauser, I love how it is, it's just... another thing is I want to get more magazines. That's another thing is I want to get more magazines, so, but yeah, no. I love this Mauser. I wish there was more aftermarket parts for it. Yeah, moving on. In terms of PDWs, or at least in terms of pistol caliber carbine kits, the Umarex kit is the only one I actually do have for the Umarex pistols. And I have in here, of course, the HK45, or USP. And it does actually work out pretty well. The other thing I need to do, of course, is get another pin to lock it in place, because if I have the stock like this, it's definitely going to be a, it's definitely going to be a fun time. But I can just get a pin anywhere, really, doesn't really matter. But either way, though, I love this thing to death. I am wanting to get the gas blowback variant, the CO2 gas blowback variants of the pistols that this will fit into it, and throw in here so that way I can actually use the charging handle, because it does have a charging handle slot. I definitely want to do that so I can actually do that nice little bit of charge the handle as soon as I rack the magazine in instead of actually hitting the magazine release, because again, that charging handle action just, yeah. But I do love this thing to death, and I'm wanting to find the threaded, I want to see what is supposed to go on this threading here, because again, I'm trying to find information on that, so for anyone who does know what's supposed to go on the end of this barrel, or what this threading is for, because if it's for the Mac 10, Mac 11 suppressor, that's cool. That's honestly legitimately kind of cool. I'd like to know more information about that. But yeah, no, I'd love to actually have this to use for CQB, or at least something around that nature, because again, I really do like it. I might put a Magpul AFG on here, because a Magpul AFG would definitely look nice on this, or at least a stubby grip, like the Magpul stubby grip right up here, along with a little light, along with the... I know I'm definitely going to have fun, because I'm going to have to get a Picatinny camera mount for this thing to put right here, so that way you have that looking at me type deal. So when I'm doing that, and of course have the run cam up here, basically a lot of cool stuff. More or less though. I digress. It is a fun little carbine kit. I've done a review on this kit. Go check out that review. This is legitimately a good kit to have if you want to have a pistol caliber carbine kit for your Umrex guns, but you don't want to just fucking shell out the money for the other stupid kits out there that are way too goddamn overpriced. Moving on, though. The final gun in my collection, the manliest of manly handguns from the Jewish state of Israel. No, it's not the Uzi, even though technically that is a machine pistol, not a handgun. But I will go ahead and give you that. And it's not a 4570 CO2 power revolver, even though that would be amazing to have in Airsoft. Seriously, Magnum Research. Like, I'm not even joking here. That big of a handgun on CO2. I'm just saying. Give us Fallout fans the Ranger Sequoia already. We want the Ranger Sequoia. How fucking hard is it to do that in CO2? Have you seen the size of the grip? Seriously, have you seen the size of the damn grip? You know what? That's a video for another day. That's not what I'm talking about. However, this is another Fallout gun that I know a lot of you are going to recognize. I know a lot of you are going to scream in the comment section for. And yes, I'm going to talk to 3D printers. I'm going to try and contact them and hopefully work out a deal to make a kit for it. To turn it into the handgun that this thing is basically used as the base model for in Fallout 3 and New Vegas. Not 4, however, and not 76, regretfully. That one looks more like a Luger or some sort of German handgun based on the magazine and the way the pistol grip is designed. But either way, ladies and gentlemen, I've gabbed on long enough. The future plans for this pew is, of course, the KWC CO2 full auto select fire semi-automatic, what have you. Deagle. Deagle. So, ladies and gentlemen, what do I have plans for this thing? 2, actually. I have 2 plans for this. Number 1 is upgrade the internals. I want to upgrade the internals of this son of a bitch and make it just that much more better. Make it to where it reaches out a little better. Make it to where I have more magazines, because by God did this thing go through magazines, and I want to get more magazines. Number 2, upgrade the barrel. Upgrade the hop unit. Upgrade the nozzle. Put a threaded barrel on the son of a bitch so I can use the big honkin' suppressor for tracer BBs. I know a lot of you are immediately laughing your asses off thinking, really, this in a CQB arena? You're goddamn right, because aside from the internal upgrades, and aside from the honkin' just huge motherfucking suppressor on the son of a bitch, better springs. That's another one. Get better, stronger springs. Just better springs in general for recoil is a lovely thing. People, can we not get better springs for this fucker? Can we really not? Moving on. Another thing, of course, is to talk to the 3D printing community again and try and set up a stock for this, or at least try and do a pistol caliber carbine unit. Because the way this thing is designed, it is so meant to be in a pistol caliber carbine unit. I mean, seriously, just something to either slap on here or mind you, something to actually just roll up in here or just wrap around it to where, you know, all you gotta do is put in 2 screws of the thing and boom, you have yourself a pistol caliber carbine just with a big old fucking stock right here. Make it lined up with the damn sights. Hell, I might actually try and find a Picatinny rail to be able to mount on this son of a bitch and be able to find the barrel that has the fucking Picatinny on here so I can actually put the fucking Picatinny on there. Because these 2 Weaver rails here ain't exactly... Yeah, moving on. So that's number 1. What's number 2? Turn this into the 10mm pistol from Fallout. 10mm pistol is essentially just a deagle. That's what it is. It's a deagle. And to anyone out there who is a 3D printer and can make a 3D printed kit that can withstand the power of a CO2 deagle, fucking contact me. Let's make some money. Let's make some fucking bank. Let's make some business. But seriously though, I do actually want a 10mm pistol. I want the deagle to have a kit. Even if it's fucking SRU, even if they have to name it something goddamn ridiculous to basically give us a 10mm pistol kit, by all means, please do. Because I do want a 10mm pistol in my arsenal. I don't care if I have to basically do backdoor deals. I don't care if I gotta find a guy with a CNC machine who can actually knock out a 10mm pistol body to basically take the CO2 slide here, because the slide... Okay, you wanna know how this thing could actually work? And you're probably wondering it already. Fucking clamshell the son of a bitch! I'm not joking! These 2 right here, yeah, all you gotta do, clamshell. That's it. Fucking clamshell. That's it. All you have to do is basically have it to where the safety selectors are actually integrated into that slide. Again, this is not fucking rocket science. It can be done. We have the technology to make a 10mm goddamn pistol in fucking airsoft. For the love of Christ, somebody fucking do it! Thank you all for watching. As always, I've been AirsoftAL, the Commands Airsofter who wears a beret because you guys actually like the beret, and again, I look pretty good in a beret. And I will see you guys in the next video. And if you guys want to help out with a lot of the projects I've basically shown off today, then please do consider donating to our PayPal down below. It's folks like you that help support this channel and have actually been the reason why I'm able to acquire all these guns and able to basically give these ideas to you. And as always, ladies and gentlemen, I've been AirsoftAL, the Commands Airsofter, who, well, tries to make ideas and show off his ideas to people so they can either be inspired, actually take initiative, or just, yeah, third option there. I don't know what the third option is, but either way, though. Thank you all for watching. As always, I've been AirsoftAL, and I will see all you lovely people in the next video. Till next time. Later!